Hello everyone, my name is Manuela Rodriguez.
And my name is Valeria Rodriguez.
For our CSE 341 final project, we create an animal hospital API using Node.js, Express, MongoDB, and GitHub Auth authentication. In this video, we will demonstrate or deploy application CRUD operation, data validation, Auth authentication, unit tests, Swagger documentation, and our individual contributions.
Our application is deployed on Render. We are using our repository CSE 341 final project. We also made sure that sensitive configuration information is not committed to GitHub. In our .gitignore file, we ignore node modules and .env file. The .env file contains our environment variables such as the MongoDB connection string and the GitHub auth credentials. So we don't expose those values on our public repository.
Our Swagger documentation is located at the API docs root. The API contains 4 collections: pets, owner, veterinarians, and appointments. Each collection supports the complete CRUD functionality: get all, get by ID, post, put, and delete. First, we are demonstrate the get endpoints for our 4 collections. We will start with pets. This GET request retrieved all the pets stored in our MongoDB database. As we can see, the request was successful and returned HTTP status 2000.
Here is the owner's collection. The endpoint retrieves our registered pet owners. Here we have the veterinarian's collection. The get endpoint successfully retrieves all veterinarian and returns a status 200.
Finally, we have the appointment collection. This endpoint retrieves all appointments stored in MongoDB database and also return 2000 status. Here we are demonstrating the get by ID functionality. This retrieves a single pet. This same functionality is implemented for our other 3 collections: owners, veterinarians, and appointments.
Next, we are going to demonstrate the post-operation of all 4 of our collections. These endpoints allow authenticated users to create new records in our database.
We will start with pets. We are creating a new pet by providing all the required information. The request is successful and returns a 2001 status.
Now we can see in MongoDB Compass that it was created the new pet. Next, we are creating a new owner. We provide the required owner information and the API successfully creates the record with 201 status. Here we are creating a new veterinarian. The request is successful and the API returns a 201 status.
Finally, we are creating a new appointment. We provide the pet ID, veterinarian ID, appointment date, reason, and status. The appointment is successful created and the API return a 2001 status. Now we are going to demonstrate the put operation for our 4 collections. The put endpoint is used to update an existing record using its MongoDB ID. First, we are updating a pet. We are using the pet's ID and changing some of its information. The request is successful and returned 2004 status.
Next, we are updating an owner. We are modifying the owner's information and the API successfully processed the update with a 204 status. Here we are updating a veterinarian. We are changing some of the veterinarian's information and the API returns a 204 status.
Finally, we are updating an appointment. We are modifying the appointment information such as the day, reason, or status. The request is successful and return a 2004 status.
To verify that the updates were actually saved, we will check on our MongoDB database. Here we can see that the information has changed after the put request.
Finally, we are going to demonstrate the delete operation using the pets collection as an example. This endpoint allows an authenticated user to delete an existing pet by using its MongoDB ID. We also have delete endpoints implemented for our other three collection owners, veterinarians, and appointments.
Now we will demonstrate our auth authentication. When the user is not authenticated, the application shows that the user is logged out. We use GitHub Auth to authenticate the user. We can start the authentication process using the login route. Our routes use an authentication middleware. The middleware checks if an authenticated user exists in the session. If there is no authenticated user, the API returns a 401 status. This protection is applied to our post and put routes as required by the project. Finally, the logout route destroys the authentication. After logging out, the application shows that the user is logged out again. Now we are going to try making changes being logged out. In this case, since we are logged out, it will return a 401 error and a message you don't have access.
We implemented data validation for every post and put endpoints across all four collections. For example, the appointment validation requires a valid pet ID, a valid veterinarian ID, an appointment date, a reason, and a status. We use Express Validator to validate the request body. If the validation fails or validation malware returns 400 status with the validation error instead of inserting invalid information into MongoDB database. The same validation approach is implemented for pets, owners, veterinarians, and appointments for both post and put operations.
We created unit tests for the get endpoints of all four collections. We can also see that all of our tests are passing successfully. Thank you for watching.